Hey guys, how are you? Welcome. My name is Violetta Alexis, and I am a professional tarot reader and studying to become a professional tropical Western astrologer. We are going to be talking about the full moon in Gemini, which is occurring on November 27th, 2023. The effects of this will last for the next couple of weeks, so keep that in mind. Also, the ruler of this full moon, which is Mercury, is setting to go retrograde on December 13th in Capricorn and will move back into Sagittarius. So I definitely feel like we're going to be revisiting whatever this is. This full moon in Gemini, we are completing something, a decision, something that we're communicating, some kind of decision that we are solidifying that we're making or that somebody else is. Wherever Sagittarius is in our chart, we seem to be very maybe aggressive or overly optimistic about the situation, but it's really needing to set a boundary or it's needing to ground something into reality and look at the fine print, look at the details instead of just think, oh my God, this could be so great. It's about really reining that in and taking it serious. This full moon is going to be square Saturn. So Saturn's like, hey, no, you need to put in the work. You need to do this, period. Right. And also Mercury, the ruler, is going to be squaring Neptune in Pisces. So there's a little bit of like a foggy thing going on, like foggy information, some unknown stuff, some stuff that maybe somebody's lying or manipulating us in some way. So there's a little bit of confusion going on. So make sure that you guys are looking for your rising sign, which will be most accurately. If you are looking for your sun, then just keep in mind that that's going to more attain to your goals in life and your career life. Okay. And if you're applying it to your moon sign, it's going to be more about your home and your family and your emotional existence. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start with Aries and go in astrological order. All right. Hey, Aries, how are you doing? Welcome to your full moon in Gemini that is happening today. Keep in mind that these effects will last for the next 2 weeks or so. So here, obviously, you can see that we have the full moon that's happening in your third house. The third house can represent our hobbies, writing projects, the things that we're learning, our neighborhood, our siblings. It can also represent the way that we're speaking, what we're saying, how we're saying it, and also how we're thinking. We obviously have, these squares to Saturn. The ruler of this full moon is Mercury, which is in the ninth house, and Mercury is squaring Neptune. So there's a little bit of fog in what it is that you're trying to pursue and what you're trying to go after. Your ruling planet is obviously a part of this full moon. It's opposing this full moon as well. And so here we have the moon conjunct the sun. Now, when we have the moon conjunct the sun, especially in Sagittarius, it can be a little too optimistic at times. It can be a little bit oh, I have this great big idea, this thing that I can do, this thing that I want to do. I'm gonna do this great thing, and this is the greatest idea ever, right? It can be, especially in the ninth house as well, it can be the big picture. But there's something here in the third house that's like, have you worked out the finer print? Have you worked out the details? You want to go on this trip? Did you get your passport? It can be something as simple as that. But it can also just simply be you wanting to pursue your higher purpose with something. But the full moon is saying, okay, well, that's fine. But did you educate yourself? Did you get the finer print? Did you get the finer details worked out in regards to what it is that you're trying to pursue when it comes to your higher purpose? That's great. We can be optimistic. We can do all of those things. But with the square to Neptune here, it's asking you, maybe there's something that you don't know. Maybe you don't have all of the facts. I also think that with the moon over here making a square to Saturn in the 12th, I think that your mindset is going to be incredibly important at this time. Like, if there's something that you're wanting to publish, that's great. Did you hire an editor? Did you hire an editor? Are you being realistic about something? So I guess what I'm trying to say is I think it's fine to have these big ideals and to have these big plans. Just make sure that you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. You also have Venus that is in a conjunction with the South Node. So this is big, this is in your partnership sector. This is also like contracts and things of that nature. This is making me feel like maybe there's a relationship that you're letting go of. Maybe there's somebody in your life that's letting go of you. Venus does rule your seventh house. Venus also rules your second house. And the second house can be like what we possess. So I'm wondering, is somebody that was very possessive of you, are they letting you go, or are they kind of letting up a little bit? Is there a partner that's letting go of an old stream of income? Is Maybe you had your self-worth wrapped around a partner or vice versa. Are we letting go of that? So there's going to be some dissolving of, where Venus takes place in your chart. And I don't think it's all bad. I just want to say, make sure that you're grounding your plans into reality, because you could be a little over optimistic at this time. Okay. So Aries, thank you so much. Make sure that you hit the little bell notification so you can get notified every time I go live and every time I post an astrology or a tarot video. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Twitter. That information can be found in the description box below. Also, make sure that you are booking a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com, and make sure that you like this video, share, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thanks a lot, Aries, and the best of luck to you. Hello, Taurus. How are you? Welcome to your full moon in Gemini video. So, first of all, make sure that you guys hit the little bell notification so that way you can get notified every time that I go live or every single time that I post a new video. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also, I hope you guys are doing super awesome. So obviously this full moon is happening today. Keep in mind that there's going to be a 2-week window. So the effects of this will last for 2 weeks. Maybe the rest of your life, right? Who knows? So you guys are obviously having this full moon that is occurring in your second house. So what is the second house? Well, it's the money that you're making. It's your self-worth. It's your self-value. It's your self-esteem. It's the things that you're needing to prioritize. The ruler of this full moon is Mercury, which is in the 8th house. This is of other people's money, debts, sex, taxes, inheritances, insurance policies, secrets even, okay? And there's some squares that are going on. So, Mercury squaring Neptune, full moon squaring Saturn. Then you have Mars and the sun over here in the 8th. I'm kind of wondering, just because Mars does rule your 12th house, I'm wondering if there's something that comes up out of nowhere that's illuminated to you with the sun that you're going to need to pay. Like, it may be some kind of tax issue, maybe some kind of debt. Oh my God, it can kind of come out of nowhere and you're like, oh my God, I got to do this, right? And for some of you, it doesn't necessarily have to be about that, but that's absolutely a possibility. This can also be if you do have a partner, if you have some kind of intimate partner or marriage partner, I could see like somebody asking you to marry them, or somebody asking you to go into business with them or to collaborate with them in some way. It seems like they're very optimistic about whatever it is. They want to talk about it, and it could come out of nowhere. You could be like, wait, what? But this could be you maybe being uncertain or feeling like you need to put a fine tooth comb with whatever they're bringing you, does this person value me? Is this something that I actually want to invest in? Is this someone that I want to combine my life with or my finances with? Um, it could definitely feel like the two of you are not on the same page when it comes to goals with the squares to Saturn and Neptune. Like, yeah, I don't know if that's really what I want. Like, that's great, but that sounds a little bit far-fetched. Mars conjunct the sun, especially in Sagittarius, can be like overly optimistic and like, oh my God, let's do this, right? And the full moon wants to solidify something. It wants to make sure that we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed. So you may be a little bit like apprehensive. This could also be for some of you, you could be maybe, I don't want to say you're relying on a partner because I don't feel like it's that, but for some of you, maybe you are actually finishing out some old sense of the way that you make money. This can also be, I can also see this as somebody wanting something from you, but you being like, no, that's not my worth. My worth is bigger than that. My worth is more than that. Maybe there's somebody that, wants to move in together, sun representing the 4th house, and wants you to, and so you're asking like, am I worth more? Or clients demanding things from you and you wanting to raise your prices, maybe in some way. But I feel like you and another person seem to be at odds, or it's like you're trying to pay off some kind of debts or taxes or something like that in order to reach some kind of goal that you have, possibly in regards to some kind of group funding or some kind of network. And then on the same day, we do have your ruling planet, which is of huge importance to you specifically, and Libra, obviously. Venus is in one of its home signs, right? So Libra, it's in your sixth house. It's conjunct the South Node. And now Venus also rules your physical body. So for a lot of you, this is about like you really taking care of your health. There can be an old health issue that's finally dissolved and illuminated to you. This can also be about you saying, you know what, I need to get up and work out, or I need to find a routine that's going to help me, that's going to make my life better. I think that your self-worth is starting to kind of rise in a way because you're realizing what you deserve. This is what I want. This is what it is. Um, and yeah, so I don't hate it. Anyway, thank you so much, Taurus, for joining me. Make sure that you visit violettaalexis.com. You can definitely book a personal tarot reading with me. Make sure that you like the video. It certainly helps the channel, and subscribe to my channel. Also share and comment, and the absolute best of luck to you, Taurus. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hello, Gemini. How are you? Welcome to your full moon in you, full moon in Gemini. Keep in mind that the effects of this will last for the next couple of weeks. This is obviously a full moon in your first house of self. So this is about a closing out, a culmination, a completion, even possibly a success of something. But this is about you and who you are and your physical being. Okay. This full moon is going to obviously make oppositions with Mars conjunct the sun in your seventh house of partnerships. The ruler of this full moon is Mercury, which is also in your seventh house. So, with these oppositions here, this is making me feel like you have maybe a business partner, or you have maybe a romantic partner that has some big goal, right? The sun conjunct Mars. Mars rules your 11th house of friends, groups, networks, communities, but it also represents goals. And so I'm wondering here if you're having a conversation with either a business partner or intimate partner about what your goals are, or about what their specific goals are, and they have a very like specific goal in mind when it comes to like something big picture, and you're kind of like, yeah, but what about my responsibilities? This could definitely be like this overly optimistic excitement about something that a partner, a business partner, or even a client is trying to obtain. Mercury is making a square to Neptune. Okay. So I feel like somebody may be a little naive. That could be you when it comes to a specific responsibility or a specific goal. Or there's some kind of conversation around maybe even a boundary that you're trying to set in place, where the line between you and somebody else is blurred a little bit in regards to a common goal that maybe the two of you have, but it's like you don't really know how to get there. Gemini wants to focus on the details of things. It wants to make sure that the fine print is read. It wants to make sure that, it's feasible. We can utilize it. And it's more of like, yes, we have this idea. Now let's figure out the finer details of things and make it happen. Where Sagittarius is like, woo, this is what the idea is. We're going to make it. And then we start thinking of all the wonderful possibilities. Right? So it can absolutely be something like that. The good thing is that I feel like it is quite certainly a common goal, to say the least. So there's some camaraderie there, but there is maybe a little bit of a disagreement. This could also be around what you need to prioritize. The moon does rule your second house of the things that you need to prioritize. So this could be like, okay, well, I need to prioritize this first. I need to make sure that I'm taking care of this. Do I value this? So I also could see this being like um maybe a partner has to go somewhere. Sagittarius can be about travel, Mercury can be about travel, and you're not really sure what to do about work, or if they can take off of work or something like that. Then we also have on the same day, Venus is making a conjunction to the South Node in your fifth house. Now, Venus also rules your 12th house, 12th house, fifth house. I'm wondering for some of you if you are releasing some kind of old like mental health issue, or old self-defeating habits, or something that you're healing within self. through some kind of creative project, through like a sense of self-expression. Maybe an old partner is kind of coming back from the past, or somebody like you slept with, or somebody you're intimate with, or maybe if you were estranged from a child or something like that. That, this isn't always about letting go. It can be about people, places, things repeating themselves in your life. Maybe you are wanting to bring back like an old business or something like that, like something that maybe you wanted to do, something that you very much valued. And if somebody like does come back around, Venus ruling your 12th house, it can like come out of nowhere and you being like, wait, what? You can be a little confused about it. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it's you trying to ground something, and then another person is like being overly optimistic about the situation towards a certain goal. And so I feel like it's just two different ways of doing things with a common goal. So it's like, how can we meet in the middle when it comes to those things? And you could also feel like somebody's pressuring you to do something, and you're like, no, this is how we're going to do it. Right. I just want to say, be a little cautious, obviously, because I feel like there could be a little bit of haziness when it comes to whatever this responsibility is or this sense of what you're trying to achieve. Okay. So thank you so much, Gemini. Make sure that you hit the little notification bell to make sure that you get notified every time that I go live or every single time that I post a video. Make sure that you like the video. It definitely supports my channel. Make sure that you share it, and make sure that you let me know how this is playing out for you in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe as well. Make sure that you're also booking a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. I absolutely offer personal readings, and make sure that you're following me on my Instagram or my Twitter as well, and that can all be found in the description box below. So thank you so much, Gemini, and the best of luck to you. Bye for now. Hello, Cancers. How are you doing? Welcome to your full moon in Gemini for November 27th, 2023. Keep in mind that this full moon, the effects of it will last for the next 2 weeks or so. And also make sure that you guys hit the little notification bell so that way you can get notified when I go live or when I post a video. Make sure that you like, share, and comment and subscribe to my channel. It obviously helps my channel, so I'd be very grateful if you did so. You guys are going to be having this full moon in your 12th house. So this is the house of spirituality, mental health, sleep. This is where we can connect to ourselves. This is our dream state. This can be bedroom pleasures as well, but it has a lot to do with like healing and letting go and our blind spots, things of that nature. Now, the ruler of this full moon is Mercury, which is in the 6th house, which is, obviously the opposite sign of Gemini. So, Mercury being in the 6th, it loves being in the 6th, but it doesn't really like being in Sagittarius, right? So it does well there. But at the same time it doesn't. So it's kind of like it kind of evens out a little bit. The 6th house is all about enemies. It's about overcoming things. It's about diseases. It can be about small pets. It can be about leases, tenancy agreements, work, day to day, your routine, health. And then you're going to obviously have the sun conjoining Mars, and it's going to oppose this full moon in your 12th house. Mars does rule your 10th house of career and reputation. There are going to be squares to Saturn. Mercury is making a square to Neptune, and Mercury is also about to go retrograde. I kind of feel like you're having a revelation. It feels like more of a spiritual revelation of some sort. I feel like there's almost a questioning of something. That's what it feels like intuitively. Like it's a questioning, right? Mercury does rule your 12th and your 3rd house. So you're thinking about what actually serves your higher purpose. Does the work that I'm doing in the 6th house, my day-to-day, my office job, whatever it is it really in alignment with my higher self, with my higher purpose? Is this what I want to do? You are possibly, for some of you, if you have been kind of taking a back seat for a while and you're ready to kind of get back into the workforce, you very well may do that, because right now Mercury is in its shadow. So Mercury, while it's going to go retrograde in your 7th, it's still going to come back into Sagittarius. So there's a reevaluation that's going to be had in regards to relationships, but also like your work, your health routine, things of that nature. Okay, so you're over here, and I feel like you're discovering your higher purpose. You're discovering what you really want, and what work you can do that would not just serve you but serve others. I feel like there's a conversation that's going on possibly behind the scenes. For some of you, you're connecting with a mentor or a guru that's trying to help you get to some kind of like higher purpose goal, or like in regards to what it is that you truly believe in. Um, this is giving me like standing on your soapbox kind of thing. Not really, but that's kind of what it feels like to me. I do think that you are thinking about how you're showing up in the world, right? Mars representing your 10th house of career, reputation, how other people view you. You already have the North Node there, right? So this is all about going towards your purpose, your higher purpose as well. Now, this could be for some of you that maybe you took some time to rest and relax. You're trying to get back out there in the workforce, but maybe you need to travel for work. For some of you, maybe that's what it is. But you're trying to figure out how to like move things around, how to move your schedule around. Is somebody gonna walk the dog? It can be something like that. During this time, you do have Venus, which is in a conjunction with the South Node in your fourth house. Some of you may be thinking about moving. Some of you may be thinking about moving for work. Some of you may be visiting home. Okay, maybe you're going back home. Maybe there's an old female family member that kind of arises, that kind of comes back in some way. Maybe you're letting go of a relationship with the family member for your mental health, to be completely honest. um Also, we have Venus, which rules your 11th house. And Venus also rules your fourth house, and it's in its own sign now. So, maybe there's a goal. There's a specific goal that you used to have in regards to like home and family and what you wanted in regards to that. And maybe something about that is getting ready to change. Maybe you don't want to be a stay at home mom anymore. Maybe you're trying to go back into the workforce. So it can be things like that. But ultimately, it's going to be in your best benefit, so that way you can let go of the things that are no longer serving you, and that way you can focus on the things that will, or you serving others, right? Sixth house is a house of service. So, yeah. So, and keep in mind, you're ruled by the moon. Obviously, you are always involved. You and Leo are always involved in full and new moons and the eclipses and all of that stuff. So, poor souls. So, you've been doing a lot of resting, relaxing, and working on your mental health. And I think that now there's this like culmination of that, and a realization of higher purpose. I just will say this, be cautious. There could be like some illusion around like a mentor, a guru, a higher purpose, a belief, or like what somebody's telling you. Okay. So thank you so much, Cancers. Let me know how this is playing out for you in the comment section below. If you have not already, make sure that you like the video. It definitely supports my channel. And if you haven't, make sure that you're also turning on the little notification bell, because that's going to alert you every time I post a new video or every time that I go live. Also, make sure that you subscribe if you have not. I would love to have you. So thank you so much, Cancer, and the best of luck to you. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, Leo. How are you? Welcome to your full moon in Gemini, which is happening on November 27th, 2023. The effects of this will last for 2 weeks, so keep that in mind. Also, make sure that you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you have not, make sure that you hit the little notification bell, so that way you can get notified every time that I go live or every time that I post a video. So, Leos, interesting. We have the full moon in Gemini, which is occurring in your 11th house. This is about friends, groups, communities, the people that we surround ourselves with, the people that support us. And it's making an opposition to the sun and Mars. And obviously, you guys are the sun. The sun rules you. So I feel like you're kind of over here, right? The fifth house is all about dating, romance, fun, taking risks, and it can be optimistic, especially with Sagittarius there. Mercury is here, which is the ruler of this full moon in the fifth house. So I feel like something is coming to a close because of Mercury in the fifth house. Mercury is making an awkward square to Neptune in the eighth, and the moon is making a square to Saturn in the eighth. This is making me feel like this is you over here. You guys seem to be very passionate about something. I feel like you guys are expressing yourself in some way around, maybe because Mars rules your ninth house, around your belief system, around what you believe in, or you want to take this trip, right? Because that's Sagittarius as well. Keep that in mind. But Sagittarius is like incredibly optimistic, right? That's why you see a lot of famous people who have Sagittarius placements, because they're totally delusional and it works for them. And then they freaking make it, hey, you can't hate on it, right? And so I feel like there's something that you're expressing to a friend, and I'm not gonna lie, it feels like a group, a community, a network, a friendship that you're a part of does not agree with it. Now I don't think you're going to care personally. That's totally up to you, but it could also be that there is a friend here who's trying to give you sound advice on whether or not a business venture or a risk that you want to take will be fruitful or if it is grounded in reality. Um, it could also be with Mercury square Neptune here. There may be some things that you're not realizing. Like when it comes to like money, or when it comes to you taking a risk and not realizing that there's something maybe you have to pay off, and then you go and invest all this money in a business, and you're like, oh my God, right? Or just some things that are hidden from view that you don't understand. This could even be like you dating somebody and this being like you all for it, right? And your friend's like, yeah, no, I feel like this is not the best, right? I feel like a friend's kind of giving you the cold shoulder about, I don't want to say that they're being preachy, but they're asking you if this is realistic. Moon square Saturn. And I just want to say, word of caution, right? Just make sure that you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Um, with Mercury here in the fifth house, this is what this is about. Because this is like why this is closing out. For some of you, you may end up like leaving a friendship because of this. I'm not saying that that's what it's going to be, but it can be, or it can just be like risky things, that you're wanting to invest into. And then Mercury also rules your second house. So this can be all about like money that you have, money that you spend, right? Your money, etc. And it's in a square to other people's money. So there's something a little iffy there. On the same day, we have Venus in a conjunction with the South Node in your third house. So Venus also has relations to your 10th house. So this can be like, you may start to let go of the way that you're addressing people or the way that you're thinking. Um, it could also be that there's some kind of project that maybe you were working on. Maybe you're letting go of that, or maybe an old project from the past is kind of coming back up, and it's maybe something that you kind of want to put out there. Jupiter is in your 10th house. He's trying to make Venus happy over here. So he's trying to expand your career. He's trying to expand your reputation. But there's something that you need to let go of here first. So I don't know if maybe you need to like still learn something there, or if you just need to change the way that you think. But I think that it clearly has a direct correlation with your career and how you're showing up in the world. So it could just be the way that you're expressing yourself as well, because this over here that's happening is very expressive. So thank you so much, Leo. Let me know how this is playing out for you in the comment section. Like I said, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that way you can get notified every time I go live or every time that I post a video. Make sure that you comment. Let me know how this is playing out for you. And did I say that already? I don't know. I don't care. And then make sure that you subscribe as well. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Leo. Hey, Virgo, how are you? Welcome to your full moon in Gemini for November 27th, 2023. Keep in mind that the effects of this is going to last for the next 2 weeks, so you will be feeling this. Make sure that you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not, and make sure that you obviously hit the little notification bell so that way you can get notified every time that I go live or every time I post a video. So Virgo, this is obviously very important for you. Why? Because this is the full moon in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, as are you. As is you, as are you. We have the full moon happening in your 10th house of career, reputation, status, how people see you out in the world, how you're presenting yourself out in the world. You can do things like quit your job, change careers. You can be getting ready to complete something in regards to how people see you and how you're showing up in the world, or some kind of responsibility. You do have oppositions to from the moon to the sun conjunct Mars in your 4th house of home and family. Mars rules your 8th house of change. It also rules your 3rd house. And this can be like where you and another person are kind of maybe having some harsh communication. There could be some kind of conflict, especially with male figures in the home, and it's about something that needs to change. Maybe somebody's asking you for money out of nowhere, and you're like, dude, like, I can barely even get my own life together. Like, it can be something like that, because Mars also represents your 8th house of, money that you owe other people. And so maybe somebody owes you money, maybe it's a family member that owes you money or you owe them, but there's definitely like a conversation that's happening. And I feel like your focus is like you're trying to complete something in your career, like you're trying to change things in regards to your career. And I feel like this conversation, whatever this is, like kind of comes out of nowhere. This could also be you needing to let go. The sun rules the 12th house. You can talk about letting go in the 12th house. So letting go of an old idea or an old way of communicating to be able to get things done or change things more efficiently. Mercury is obviously the ruler of this full moon, which is in your 4th house. It's making a square to Neptune, and the moon in the 10th is making a square to Saturn. For some of you, you're moving for a job, or for some of you, if you are in some kind of relationship, or maybe you're getting married, 8th house, or you're combining finances in some way, there may be a little bit of an issue with, okay, how do we come together? How do we make this happen together? And so while all this is going on, with that square to Neptune, you could feel like a partner is being a little ghosty or not being completely clear with you about something. You're like, hello, right? It's like it could be making you uncomfortable because Mercury in the 4th house is about like how we're feeling. And you could be very optimistic about something, and you could have a partner that's like, you know, and you may feel like you're not really like being supported by a partner, and you may want to talk to somebody like a therapist or something like that. But it doesn't have to be all bad. It can just simply be like you and a partner trying to get together, and trying to figure out how to actually make it come together. How are we going to do this with my career, etc. Same day, you have Venus in a conjunction with the South Node in your 2nd house. Venus also has connections to your 9th house. So, this can talk about like old ideas or old philosophies, old belief systems that you used to possess that are no longer serving you will be let go of. Absolutely, for some of you guys, you could be deciding to let go of a relationship, sure. It's going to be different for all of you. It could be an old way of making money. That's what this full moon could be. Like you're ending a career, you're letting go of an old way of making money, and now you're going to do this. Because keep in mind, you have the North Node in your 8th right now, right? So there's going to be a lot of focus on conjoining you and another person, like joining forces with another person, putting your money together, right? And there's going to be some kind of change in regards to that. So that absolutely can be what that is. So thank you so much, Virgo. Let me know how this is playing out for you in the comment section below. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It definitely helps. And make sure that you guys turn on the little notification bell so that way you can get notified every time that I go live or when I post a video. You can also book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com, or you can follow me on Instagram and or Twitter, and all that information can be found in the description box below. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, Libra. How are you? Welcome. We're going to go ahead and talk about the full moon in Gemini, which is happening November 27th, 2023, and the effects of this will last for 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. Also, make sure that you guys are turning on the little notification bell so that way you guys can get notified every time that I go live or every time that I do post a video. So this full moon is over here in your 9th house. Trips, travel, higher education, philosophy, God, your higher purpose, right? And it's going to be making oppositions to the sun conjunct Mars in your 3rd house. I could definitely see this as like you having some kind of legality that you're about to finish, right? And you realizing you don't have your documents. This can definitely be you speaking with a lawyer about some kind of legality, because Mars does rule your 7th house. I definitely feel like maybe there's this back and forth about how to resolve something, how to finally close something out. The ruler of this full moon is Mercury, which is also in the 3rd house. So there's some writing that needs to be done, or there's something that needs to be let go of, or there's some more discussion around this case, okay? Or if you're traveling, there needs to be more of a pursuit on getting the visa, or filing the paperwork, or whatever it may be. Or even if it's a higher education, getting that stuff together is going to be very important. And you can be in a very optimistic frame of mind, right? And that's fine, but make sure that you keep in mind that Mercury here is in a square to Neptune. And so there's something that's a little foggy. There's something that's a little foggy in regards to some form of documents. This could be like something that you didn't expect, right? Mercury ruling the 12th. This could be like our blind spot. You know, maybe we don't have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed. Now, Mercury likes being in the third house, so it's beneficial, but it doesn't really like being in Sagittarius. And so this is about like, yes, it's fine to be optimistic. It's fine to be all that, but this is also about being realistic. You also have the moon in a square to Saturn. So you need to make sure that whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it is higher education, whether it is some kind of legality, making sure that you are being responsible and getting all of your necessary documents, make sure that the scheduling is on point, making sure that you know what time you're supposed to be there for something, you know. So then we also have, you know, on the same day, we have Venus in a conjunction to the South Node in your first house. And so there's something that's changing about you. An old version of yourself is going away. And there's going to be something that's kind of like reborn, is what that makes me feel like. There could be old like health things coming up. Venus does rule your eighth house as well. So this can be like psychological things, things that you're needing to let go of. This can also be like debts, maybe that you're needing to pay in some way, but it's you that's going to be changing. And Jupiter is here. So he's trying to make Venus happy anyway. So he's over here working his magic. Yes, I know Uranus is here and causing a little bit of ruckus, but Jupiter's there as well. And he's kind of blessing it up. And so I feel like things are changing, especially on a psychological level. I don't think that it would be a bad idea to speak to a healthcare practitioner, right? Or to some kind of psychologist. So thank you so much, Libra. It was an absolute pleasure. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. It obviously helps my channel, and I'd be very grateful if you did so. Make sure that you also put on the little notification bell so that way you can get notified every time that I go live or anytime that I post a video. You can also book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com, or you can follow me on Instagram and or Twitter, which can be found in the description box below. Thanks a lot, Libra, and best of luck. Hello, Scorpio. How are you? Welcome to your full moon in Gemini for November 27th, 2023. Make sure that you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And make sure that you guys also hit the little notification bell so that way you can get notified every time that I go live or every time I post a video. Also, keep in mind that this full moon will last for 2 weeks, as in the effects will last for 2 weeks. So this isn't like a one-day thing, okay? Make sure that you're checking for your rising sign. It's going to be most accurate. All right, so Scorpios, you guys are going to be having a full moon in a very financial house. It's the eighth house. It's death, sex, taxes, losses, inheritances, money that you owe. And the ruler of this full moon is Mercury, which is over here in your money, the money that you make, also your self-worth, your self-value, and also priorities. So keep that in mind. This moon is making oppositions to the sun conjunct Mars in your second house. Well, Mars is your ruler, right? Mars is also the ruler of the sixth house, which can talk about debts. So I'm wondering if you're realizing that you actually have to spend a little bit of money here. Like you have to spend a little bit of money in order to pay off a debt. Something maybe comes out of nowhere or blindsides you and you have to pay something off. And you obviously don't want to, but you will, right? It feels like you're pretty optimistic. I know that you guys have been like maybe working on your health. You had that stellium in your first, so there was a lot of action going on, around self-worth, self-value. Venus is eventually going to go into your first house, so your self-worth and self-value even more so being activated, and what it is that you feel like you deserve. And so I feel like it's a lot about you guys being optimistic about how you're prioritizing you and yourself and how you're showing up in the world and how much you've changed and how you want to continue to change, right? Eighth house is also change. And now for some of you, this is just simply about you completing a change. You finally been like, you know what? I know who I am. This is who I want to be. This is how I want to show up in my career. The sun does rule your 10th house. And like the sun it's like activating Mars is what it makes me feel like. So it's kind of your status, your reputation on the world is shining a light on you and the work that you're putting in. So a lot of you guys are really busting your ass, excuse my French, to really make a lot of money so that way you can pay something off, so that way you can work on your credit score, whatever it is. Keep in mind that this full moon is ruled by Mercury, which is also in the second. And so, like I said, you could have to pay something off. This could also be like with Mercury square Neptune, the moon square Saturn. For some of you, you may be kind of feeling overworked in some way and you may be wanting to have some fun, but feeling like you can't. This can also be something about like maybe a business partner or a partner in general. Maybe they're closing out their debts or something like that. And I want to say that I don't know if this is really the best time to be taking any risks, right? Fifth house is like risks. It could be like this sense of you and a partner, or you and a business partner, just you wanting to take some form of risk, but not really sure if that's the best move. I don't think that it is, for me personally. So just be cautious of that. With that moon square Saturn is definitely kind of like shaking his finger and saying like, no, not now. So it doesn't have to be all bad, but I really like the change that I'm kind of seeing in you guys. I'm very excited for when Venus goes into your first house. It's going to really make you feel good. On the same day, we have Venus conjunct the South Node, and it's in your 12th house of letting go. And the South Node can also be about letting go as well. Now, you also have Venus, which is ruling your 7th house. Jupiter's here, which is good, right? Jupiter's trying to kind of cheer Venus on, is trying to kind of adhere to her whims and what she desires, right? And so with Venus here in the 12th conjunct the South Node, for some of you, it could definitely be about a partnership that's kind of needing to end. Okay. And that could be what this full moon is about as well. It can be like we're finally ending a marriage, ending a partnership. I hate to say that. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. Keep that in mind. But it can be that like a partner is kind of shutting it down or something is dissolving, even maybe like old self-sabotaging habits when it comes to a partnership, maybe some kind of addictions, maybe there was an addictive relationship. It can absolutely be that. But Venus is there to make it happen, to like make something positive happen, whether it feels good in the moment or not. Okay. And the way that maybe you have subconsciously dealt with relationships as well, I feel, is changing. Okay. So thank you so much, Scorpio. Let me know how this is playing out for you in the comment section below. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. Obviously, that very much helps my channel, so I will be forever grateful. And make sure that you guys also hit the little notification bell below so you can get notified every time that I go live or every time I post a video. Thanks a lot, Scorpio, and talk soon. Bye. Hey, Sagittarius, how are you? Welcome to the full. Hello. Welcome to the full moon in, I almost said Sagittarius. Welcome to the full moon in Gemini for November 27, 2023. Keep in mind that the effects of this full moon, they will last for the next couple of weeks. Make sure that you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. I'd greatly appreciate it. And make sure that you also hit the little notification bell below so that way you can get notified every time that I go live and post a video. So, in your opposite sign, right? So we have a full moon in Gemini happening in your 7th house of partnerships. Okay. This can be an intimate partnership or a business partnership. It is obviously opposing the Sun conjunct Mars over here in your first house of self, and your sense of expression. I feel like there could be you kind of being a little aggressive, possibly when it comes to maybe your beliefs, the sun, about mental health or about things that are going on behind the scenes or what it is that needs to be worked on. It could just be you being a little spicy. Mars also rules the 5th house, of sex. So for some of you, it could be you wanting to just simply have more fun with a partner. You want to have more fun. You want to go out. You want to do your thing. You want to have a good time. But with that moon squaring Saturn, somebody may be like, I have too many responsibilities right now. I can't do this. You could feel kind of shut down or even shut out a little bit. It could be about like, oh, well, Saturn ruling your 2nd house. We don't really have the money, right? Or we just had to spend money on a car, Saturn ruling your 3rd. It could feel like maybe there's repairs or things that need to be fixed around the home or maybe a sick family member or something like that. And maybe you can't really go out and do the things that you feel like you want to do. With the full moon, with the excuse me, God, excuse me, I've been doing these for a while. I'm getting a little. Mercury is the ruler of this full moon, and it's in your first house. I will say, be cautious of what you're saying at this time. Be cautious of what you're saying at this time. Mercury and Sagittarius, which is actually one of my favorite Mercurial placement, but My best friend is Mercury and Sag, but it does have the tendency to kind of put its foot in its mouth. So be cautious, especially with the sun, with Mars there. It's already making you super, I don't want to say super, it was making you a little aggressive. It can make you a little pushy. And somebody may be like turned off by that. Okay. If you're single, this is you going out and pursuing, and you might actually solidify a relationship for some of you, or solidify some kind of business partnership because of your optimism. But I do feel like there's an uncomfortable conversation that's maybe happening, or something is making somebody like a little uncomfortable, and they could be kind of giving you the cold shoulder a little bit, which may be kind of hurting you, or you're feeling like you're not getting the emotional connection that you need from someone, or the answers that you're looking for. Um, on the same day, we do have Venus conjunct the South Node in the 11th house. So I feel like you have big dreams, big goals, right? I feel like you have things that you're wanting to do. For some of you, could be letting go of a female friend. Okay. For some of you, it can be that. For some of you, you may be wanting to focus more on a bigger dream or a bigger goal, especially with all this going on in your first house. And something that you're really wanting to work on, Venus ruling your six, maybe it's a health goal, maybe it's some kind of fitness goal. I want to do this. I don't want to be this way anymore. I don't want to have these habits. I don't want to, sit around on the couch and eat potato chips for 4 hours while watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, I don't know, right? It can be something like that. And so I definitely think that with Jupiter here in a Venus ruled house, Jupiter is trying to make Venus happy anyway. So it's like Jupiter is a great planet to have anywhere, right? So Jupiter is trying to help you in regards to your health, in regards to your habits and your daily habits and your commitments to that. And what do you need to let go of in regards to that? So that way you can focus on a bigger dream or a bigger goal. Okay. So thank you so much, Sagittarius. Let me know how this is playing out for the comment section below. Make sure that you like, share, and also please subscribe to the channel. I'd absolutely love to have you. Make sure that you also hit the little notification bell, so that way you can get notified every time that I go live or post a video, like I stated before. And you can also book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and all that information can be found below. Thanks a lot, Sag, and the best of luck to you. Bye. Hello, Capricorn. How are you? Welcome to your full moon in Gemini for November 27th, 2023. Keep in mind that the effects of this full moon will be lasting for 2 weeks. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. I'd love to have you. And also make sure that you guys hit the little notification bell below, so that way you can get notified every time I go live and post a video. All right, so Cappies, you guys are having a full moon in Gemini, which is occurring in your sixth house. So sixth house is work, day-to-day routine, your daily habits, pets. Some of you, I know this is going to sound weird, but maybe letting go of a pet, maybe you realize you're allergic, or somebody, you're a roommate, or somebody comes to live with you and they're allergic to cats, and now you got to get rid, it can be something like that. This can also be like a health issue kind of coming to a close, or kind of coming up, and you're like, okay, how do I fix this? It can be like a job ending, or some kind of like project, maybe, or an old habit that you're putting to bed. There's a lot of like mental stuff. I feel you have Saturn, which is your ruler, right? The moon is in a square to Saturn in the third house. So you could feel really, really busy and feel like, I don't really have time for what everybody's asking me to do. Or it's like, also Saturn represents your second house of priorities. So it's like you have a lot of things that you're trying to prioritize, and you could feel like you're being pulled from both ends when all you really want to do is relax. This could be you like I want to go on a trip. I want to focus on my mental health. I want to focus on my spirituality. It's the things that you're thinking about, right? Especially with Mercury there. I want to work on a writing project, Mercury, full moon, and Gemini can be like writing, right? Third house can be writing. Maybe you're wanting to do that. Maybe you're trying to be optimistic about these things, but you're realizing that there's something that has to change. The sun is here. The sun rules your eighth house. This is all about change and transformation. And so there are things that are going on in the background about your mental health that I think you're trying to change. With Mars, with the sun making a junction to Mars, Mars does rule your fourth house. What makes me feel comfortable? What makes me feel comfortable? What's going on in the household that is making me feel uncomfortable? The third house is also about communication. And so you may be needing to communicate with somebody like, I don't really have the capacity to deal with your problems. I have my own problems. It can be you setting these limitations between you and other people about what you can handle right now and what you can't, just because the sixth and the third house can be incredibly busy. And so I want to say, kind of taking a back seat and drawing up healthy boundaries with people, I think is going to be important for you. Um, and I think that that's where your focus is going to be anyway. Mercury is making a square to Neptune as well. And so there's a little thing, some things that are kind of hazy right now. You could feel a little confused about maybe what somebody is telling you, maybe a sibling, maybe somebody in your local neighborhood, or just like a confusing conversation that's like throwing you for a loop and you're like, what are you talking about? Leave me alone. It can very much feel that way. So, try not to get too in your feels here. Mars also represents your 11th house. So maybe you're realizing like there are some goals that you have in regards to travel, spirituality, letting go of addictions, right? That you're realizing that have to change. Like these things have to change. And so on the same day, you have Venus in a conjunction to the South Node in the 10th house. Venus also has correlations to your 5th house. So this can definitely be like you letting go of some kind of career, or you letting go of some kind of old passion, or you letting go of a career so you can focus more on some kind of passion, something that is true to you, right? 5th house, something that is specific to you. And you have Jupiter here who's trying to make Venus happy because he's in a Venus ruled house, right? And so there's going to be some benefits there where you're definitely going to want to show up in the world in as your authentic self, and you're going to want to make yourself happy. What makes me happy? This is how I want to be known. This is how I want to show up. So, Capricorns, thank you guys so much. Make sure that you like the video. It would help my channel if you did. Make sure that you leave me a comment section below to let me know how this is playing out for you. And make sure that you subscribe. I would obviously love to have you. Make sure that you also hit the little notification bell below so that way you can get notified every time I go live or post a video. You can also book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. Follow me on Instagram and or Twitter. That information can be found below. Thank you so much, Capricorn, and the best of luck to you. Bye. Hello, Aquarius. How are you? Welcome to your Gemini full moon for November 27th, 2023. Keep in mind that the effects of this will be lasting for 2 weeks, okay? Also, make sure that you guys hit the little notification bell so that way you can get notified when I go live and when I post a video. Make sure that you like the video as well. That obviously very much helps my channel, and I'd be very grateful if you did that. And make sure that you subscribe as well. Obviously, I'd love to have you. So, welcome, Aquarius. Hope you guys are doing super awesome. You guys are going to be having a full moon in 5th house. This can talk about risks. This can talk about younger people. This can talk about dating. This can talk about entrepreneurship, self expression. It is making an opposition with the Sun and Mars in your 11th house, which is about friends, networks, groups, communities, goals, and aspirations. The ruler of this full moon, which is Mercury over here in the 11th house, so there's a stellium going on in the 11th house. The 11th house is great. But this full moon isn't the best, not gonna lie. And so the ruler is Mercury. Mercury is making a square to Neptune in the 2nd house. So this is about your priorities, your self-worth, self-value, the money that you make, and the moon is making a square. The full moon is making a square to Saturn, which is your ruling planet in the 2nd house. And so it makes me feel like there's some kind of project or some kind of risk or something that's being completed that maybe isn't exactly maybe what you had in mind, or maybe you're trying to complete it and you don't really know if you have the finances, or maybe you are completing it and you're not really sure if it was worth it. I think that with this opposition to the Sun and Mars here, this may be like a time where you're getting together with people or getting together with friends or with a partner, discussing goals with Mercury there, talking about goals, and finally, like, basically shooting the gun on something, like pulling the trigger on something. You may be not really sure if this is something that should be prioritized, is what I'm getting, or it could be a younger person wanting your finances or needing help maybe with financially when it comes to some like big project or business endeavor or some kind of big goal or aspiration. There's definitely some like optimistic conversation going on around what needs to happen. This could be around a writing project. Mars represents the third house. Um, and with the fifth house, that can definitely represent like some kind of creative project, maybe like a podcast, or maybe, like I said, a writing project, right? But there may be something that's a little fuzzy, like Mercury ruling your fifth house. It could be a younger person, with Neptune here. There could be some deception, maybe, or some elusiveness when it comes to like knowing what money will be needed or how someone would need to invest in some way. Fifth house can also represent investments and like what that's going to entail. Um so Mercury, yeah, cuz Mercury also rules your 8th house, and so that's like, it could end up like kind of leading to a loss. So I just want to say like a little word of caution. Um Also, on the same day, we have Venus in a conjunction to the south node of the ninth house. So, this is like beliefs, education, higher philosophy, God, your relationship with God, your higher self, your higher purpose. There's something being kind of let go in regards to that, like what makes you feel comfortable. Venus does have connections to your fourth house. So, like, it can represent your childhood and like the past, and you're realizing that really no longer serves you when it comes to your higher ideals and your higher purpose and like what you have going on. And for some of you, you could be like deciding to like revisit a place that you've been before. Okay, so thank you so much. Please make sure that you hit the notification bell, Aquarius, so that way you can get notified every time I go live or every time I post a video. Make sure that you like the video. That obviously helps my channel very, very much, and I'd be very grateful if you did so. And subscribe if you'd like. I'd love to have you. And also make sure that you visit violettaalexis.com to book a tarot reading with me, and follow me on Instagram and or Twitter. All that information can be found in the description box below. The best of luck to you, Aquarius, and talk soon. Bye. Hey Pisces, how are you? Welcome. We're going to be talking about the full moon in Gemini on November 27th, 2023. Keep in mind that the effects of this full moon will last for the next 2 weeks, okay? Also, make sure that you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you also hit the little notification bell so that way you can get notified every time that I go live or every time that I post a video. So you guys are obviously having this full moon in Gemini happening in your fourth house of home and family and even the past. Some things could come up around this time, about the past, maybe secrets. Full moons illuminate something, so it can be like family secrets, a secret about your mom. It can be something like that. I'm not saying it has to be bad, but like it's not the best full moon. It's not the worst either. This can be you buying or selling a home. This can be something about moving, closing in on a home. It is going to be making oppositions to the Sun conjunct Mars in your 10th house. So there's a lot going on in your career. The Sun does rule your 6th house. So the Sun is kind of coming together with Mars, which also rules your 2nd house and your 9th house. I feel like this is all about you really focusing and putting in the work and focusing on your day-to-day habits, okay? Or at least you needing to, or somebody even encouraging you. Possibly this is all about like your value out there in the world, what you're bringing to the table, how people see you, you being very motivated to succeed in some way and focus on your responsibilities. It's freaking AirPods, sorry. But I feel like there's something going on in the home that needs you to like make a decision, or there's a closing that's happening in regards to family or in regards to a home that needs your attention. This could be quarrels or issues between mother and father figures. The Sun in the 10th, classic, like father figure type, moon in the 4th, classic mother figure, right? 4th house and the moon both rule the mother. The Sun can rule the father, as can the 10th house. So there could be like a push and pull in regards to that. I'm not saying like your parents are getting divorced or something like that. I don't know, I can't tell you, but it definitely feels like maybe there's a little bit of conflict going on. Mercury is here, which is the ruler of this full moon in the 10th house. So we're very focused on our career. We're talking about our career. We're having discussions about our career. Maybe we need to travel for our career. But once again, like I said, the 4th house, home, family, buying, selling a house, whatever it may be, moving, is calling our attention. Now, the moon is making a square to Saturn, which is making me feel like there's something that's making you uncomfortable. And there's also going to be squares from here to Saturn to you. So it's like you're kind of having this like it makes me feel like there's pressure on you specifically to like make a decision or choose a side, or it can be something like that. And also Mercury is up here in the 10th house. I feel like somebody's like talking about your mother, or somebody is talking about your past, or somebody like something's like very public, like something is very public about a home, or a mother situation, or a parental situation, or a work situation, that is kind of coming out into the light a little bit. And it's like, whoa, I didn't really want that out there. That's what that feels like to me. Mercury being the ruler of the full moon, squaring Neptune in the first, I feel like you're kind of being a little ghosty. You're like, I don't really want to deal with this. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're kind of running a little bit. Like there's something that you just do not want to deal with. And keep in mind that Saturn also rules your 12th house, which you can talk about the past. And it could be something that kind of comes up out of nowhere where you're like blindsided and you're like, what the fuck? I don't want to talk about this shit. You know what I mean? It can be something like that, to be completely honest. Um, let me think here. And then on the same day, I do want to say we have Venus, which is going to be in a conjunction to the South Node as well in the 8th house. So, Venus also has relations to the 3rd house, and the 3rd house can talk about like extended family members, right? Aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, etc. There could be a secret, absolutely, that comes out, about somebody there, or maybe about a neighbor, or um, maybe there are some old debts or something like that that you have in regards to a vehicle. 3rd house can represent vehicles. Maybe you're finally paying off a car. Maybe you're finally, paying off that paying off that mortgage, especially with what's going on in the 4th house. So definitely letting go of something. It's going to ultimately, be beneficial. You just have to know how to work with it. So thank you so much, Pisces. Make sure that you guys hit the like button. It definitely helps my channel. And obviously subscribe. I would love to have you leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know how this full moon, how you think it's going to be playing out for you. And make sure that you guys also hit the little notification bell. That way you can get notified every time that I do go live and every time that I post a video. And also, you can book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com, and make sure that you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. All that information can be found below. Thank you so much, Pisces, and I'll talk soon. Bye.